I'm here at the Bernie Sanders Southern California Presidential Campaign Headquarters. Coming up, I'll be speaking with the state's campaign director.
I'm just trying to get through high school. High school is hard. It sucks sometimes, and I'm just trying to make it a little less bad for the next generation. You know, the next people that's gonna step in my shoes.
Students rallied at a local high school over gender-neutral bathrooms. The scene was a lot different than just 24 hours ago.
Criminal charges were filed against 3 Michigan officials accused in the Flint water crisis. We'll hear from an angry Flint resident.
Annenberg TV News is next.
Live from USC, you're watching Annenberg TV News.
With the California primary just over a month away, Bernie Sanders opened a new headquarters in Hollywood. Good evening, I'm Suji Nam.
And I'm Scott Cook. California is turning out to be a crucial state for the presidential candidates. Annenberg Media's very own Tommy Brooksbank is live in Hollywood at the new Bernie headquarters in California. Tommy, what's going on over there?
Thanks, guys. Folks are still trickling in here at the Bernie Sanders Presidential Campaign Headquarters for California, hoping to sign up to volunteer, register to vote, and help out Bernie any way that they can. I'm joined today with Michael Srusso. He's the state director of the Bernie campaign. Michael, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, you know, the California campaign is going to be even more essential than ever after, you know, the New York loss yesterday. Why did you guys wait until now to open up the campaign?
Yeah, we haven't waited. I mean, for the last year, the California local volunteers, local supporters, local organizers have been on the ground. There's been a lot of organic grassroots mobilization that's been going on across the state. There have been people who have been making phone calls into other states, hosting neighborhood house meetings, doing voter registration drives. So there has been an infrastructure here in place. The campaign is here to help drive that further.
Definitely. And, you know, there's an event tonight to get everyone, you know, really excited about Bernie. What was the thinking behind that? Why did you guys decide to come out with a bang?
Well, I mean, Los Angeles is obviously a huge part of the electorate. About a quarter of the voter turnout projected in 2016 will come from the Los Angeles area. We have a lot of supporters, and not only in this area, over in the Hollywood area, but we also have supporters all around. And so we want to have access to those supporters so they have a centralized hub to be able to come together, coordinate, and be able to make those phone calls, knock on those doors, and drive those voters to the polls.
How can USC students be more involved with the campaign?
Be engaged, be active, be enthusiastic, have a conversation with your friends and your neighbors. Don't wait, don't prolong. As a student, one-time student myself, I was always waiting. I was like, oh, next week or the week after I can get involved. But in reality, it goes fast. So students should get involved now. We can win California, and a lot of that will be because of students like yourself getting involved in the process and turning out the vote.
Now, is Bernie going to be appearing in California anytime soon?
Yeah, we expect the senator to be here. There's no determined dates yet, but at the end of the day, the senator is going to be spending a lot of time here, so We're excited to have him here.
Definitely. Well, thank you, Michael, for joining me tonight. It was a pleasure. Awesome. Now, the event tonight will keep on going. We'll be here till 8:30. Back to you guys at the desk.
All right, thanks, Tommy. So both the Clinton and Trump campaigns are feeling energized tonight after their big victories in the New York primary. Right now, Donald Trump is leading the Republican Party with 845 delegates. Ted Cruz comes in second with 559 votes, and John Kasich with 148. There are 733 delegates left of a total 1,237 needed to win the Republican Party nomination. Today, Trump is in Indiana for a rally, while Cruz is in Florida for the Republican National Committee's spring meeting. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton has 1,930 delegates, followed by Bernie Sanders with 1,189. A total of 2,382 delegates are needed to win the Democratic Party nomination. Currently, 1,646 are up for grabs. While Sanders took the day off, Clinton moved on to Philadelphia after breaking Bernie Sanders' winning streak in New York.
In this campaign, we've won in every region of the country. It's humbling that you'd trust me with the awesome responsibilities that await our next president.
5 states will be having their primaries next Tuesday. For the Republican Party, Connecticut has 28 delegates up for grabs. Delaware has 16. Maryland has 38 delegates. Pennsylvania has 71, and Rhode Island has 19. For the Democratic Party, there are 70 delegates available in Connecticut, 31 in Delaware, 118 in Maryland, 210 in Pennsylvania, and 33 in Rhode Island. The stakes are high for the California primary on June 7th. The Republican candidates will be competing for 172 delegates, and for the Democratic candidates, 546.
3 government workers are facing criminal charges for their role in the Flint water crisis. Their charges include tampering with evidence, willful neglect of duty, and violating the state of Michigan's Drinking Water Act.
We allege and we will prove that Mr. Bush and Mr. Prisby altered test results, which endangered the health of citizens and families of Flint.
For about 18 months, the city was using the Flint River tap water to save money, but the supply wasn't treated for corrosion. Lead traveled through the pipes to the residents, and experts say that this is likely connected with the city's outbreak of a respiratory disease, which caused 12 deaths.
If these accusations are correct, this would take it to a whole new level. And one of the things we clearly want to pursue is the truth.
One Flint resident says the charges are a step in the right direction, but still not enough.
I want to see these people put in front of a jury, but at the end of the day, charges are just charges. Those people are going to be inconvenienced for a few years. We have to live with the consequences and these health effects. I've been on sick leave since January 7th of this year. I'm having liver problems, stomach problems, because there's a bacteria that lives in your stomach from drinking contaminated water. I've got bone problems as well, osteoarthritis. I've been having seizures.
The Michigan Attorney General says the investigation is just getting started. Some of the officials charged could face up to 20 years in prison. Now, finances are on everybody's mind, including Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti's. Just 5 days after tax day, Garcetti released an $8 billion spending plan for the next fiscal year. One of Mayor Garcetti's top priorities in the 2016-2017 proposed budget focuses on getting the homeless off the streets. City officials have already proposed a $2 billion plan to find and create housing for the homeless over the next decade. Now, Garcetti wants the city to provide $100 million to help fund the program.
This is honest, strong, and it's real. This is money that will be put in. I think every advocate I've ever talked to says we need more housing. They don't want to wait 2 or 3 years for that. What's ingenious about the strategy, it both accelerates that and provides us with what that money would buy.
One advocate for the homeless is hopeful about the mayor's proposal.
I think it's encouraging overall, right? I think we would be wrong if we were to say we're not for more resources. The devil's in the details, right? So we're trying to kind of parse out what exactly it looks like. Where's the money going? Where's it coming out of?
Although some industry experts are excited about the proposed increase on homeless spending, the homeless themselves have different feelings.
The mayor and city council keep insisting on giving all the money to the LAPD for alternative housing in the county jail and state prisons. This is not working out for us.
So we would like to see, hopefully, this money coming out of that portion. We should take money that's going, it's all going towards homelessness, right? But are we arresting people with that money, or are we using it for housing?
This year's proposed $8.76 billion budget is a 2% overall increase from last year's spendings. Proposed spending on homelessness this year is $100 million more than it was the previous year. Much of the money in the budget would go directly to the LA Homeless Services Authority. Some funds would also go to the LAPD officers trained to deal with the homeless.
Supporters came out to Santee Education Complex today to show their support for the high school's new gender-neutral bathroom. A rally turned violent yesterday as protesters clashed with students over the bathroom. More protesters were expected to show up today, but instead, supporters came out. One student says they just wanted to make their peers feel comfortable.
I'm on an emotional roller coaster, if I have to be completely honest with you. A lot's been going on, especially for like us. Like, we're still kids, you know, like, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just trying to make people on our campus feel comfortable, like have our peers on campus feel more comfortable in the restroom.
Santee Education Complex is the first school in the state to install a bathroom for both girls and boys. The bathroom was installed last Friday.
USC has recently converted some bathrooms to all-gender restrooms to help accommodate transgender and gender non-conforming students on campus. We spoke with one student who identifies as gender neutral.
Personally don't identify as a man or a woman, so I feel a little awkward using restrooms that are labeled as such, which are the vast majority of restrooms on this campus, in this country, etc. For trans people who take off that gender that society has assigned to them, it's impractical to wait in line for one bathroom while the other one is just like empty, and you could easily use that one and no harm would come of it.
Do you believe that there's a lack of gender-neutral restrooms here on campus at USC particularly? And what would you do to change that?
So I typically just use whichever restroom is closest, which gets me weird looks depending on like what I'm wearing that day.
Thank you so much for being here, Funkster, and now back to the desk.
Well, right now, 13 buildings at USC have gender-neutral bathrooms.
A new report on air quality shows Los Angeles has a lot of room for improvement. Details next.
USC Hospitality unveiled a new garden for its dining halls that will use 90% less water than most gardens.
See both genders being represented on our currency as opposed to just it's always just been white men.
There will be a new face on the $20 bill. Find out who will replace Andrew Jackson after the break.
It takes less than 1 minute to find out if you may have prediabetes. You can do it here. But you probably won't. You're busy. Kids, work, show coming back in 48 seconds. So let's do this now. Hold up one finger if you're a man, women, 0. 3 more fingers if you're over 60, 2 over 50, 1 over 40. If you're not sure, keep in mind you're sitting on a couch right now, so 1 more finger if you're not very active. 1 finger if yes, 0 if no. 1 yes, 0 no. Next, find the body type that looks most like you and hold up that many fingers while I look around awkwardly. And that's it. If you're holding up 5 fingers or more, you probably have prediabetes. Sorry to be so blunt, but hey, you're busy. Just go to the site.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
The air quality in Los Angeles is the best it's been since 1999, but its ozone pollution is much worse. According to a new report by the American Lung Association, LA has the worst ozone pollution in the U.S. and ranks 9th among cities with the worst short-term particle pollution and 4th for year-round pollution. Dr. William Gotterman says both city and state leaders have been working to improve air quality.
There have been a number of programs that have been put in place that have really had a broad reach in terms of the trying to reduce emissions from a number of polluting sources. So, it still kind of tops the list because it has so many polluting sources, including the ports of LA, lots of industrial activity, and of course lots of traffic.
But LA's ozone pollution is much better than what it was. The city reported 109 unhealthy ozone days last year, down from 159 in 2005.
A lot of the fruits and vegetables provided on campus are grown right in our own neighborhood with new technology that requires very little water. The teaching garden is located just off campus behind the Radisson Hotel. Its new technology relies on gravity, so the plants need 90% less water to grow and they're just as tasty.
The teaching garden features 60 aeroponic towers that grows hydroponically but in a vertical setting. We're able to grow biodiverse, organic, and heirloom seed in a really efficient way using very little water and getting maximum flavor.
USC is the first university in the nation to use vertical garden aeroponic technology on such a large scale.
Well, you know what? The beautiful weather does help with the farm.
Yeah, I'm certain it does. I mean, let's send it over to our weather anchor, Hannah Vega, who can let us know what the forecast looks like. Hannah.
Thanks, guys. If anyone is wondering what the weather will look like for Coachella or Nochella, I've got you covered. Right now, it looks like we have fair skies, 77 degrees, and humidity is at 73%. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, we'll head to the east side. You're going to see in Big Bear, it's going to be 63 degrees, Palm Springs, 96. Now, onto the west side of town, you're going to see that Simi Valley is going to be 82 degrees, and if you want to head to the beach, 73 in Malibu. Getting closer to central LA, you're going to see we're going to have 78 degrees in USC, 84 degrees in Anaheim. Now we'll look at the next 5 days. As you can see, things are going to cool down a bit. It's going to be 69 degrees on Friday, and the rest of the time it's going to be pretty sunny. So earlier today, I found a hidden gem less than 15 minutes away.
While Runyon Canyon is closed, there's another trail waiting just north of downtown LA. The Wildflower Trail is a 2.8-mile trail at Elysian Park. It's across from Dodger Stadium and provides a look at the downtown skyline.
As you can see, it's so serene and peaceful here. The views are amazing, and I am so excited that I get to share this place with you.
The trail is considered easy with a moderate incline. You can get great photos of native wildlife, just make sure you avoid the lizards. At the top of the trail, there are even picnic tables and fields, perfect for a casual get-together.
Dogs are also allowed on the trail, so if you need a new dog park, this is the place to go. So have you guys ever heard of this trail?
I haven't heard of the trail, but you know what? I'm going to round up my friends Matt Tufts and Tom Norris, and we're going to go explore this weekend.
Wait, can you take me with you? Because I haven't heard of it either.
Let's do it. Let's do it. The more the merrier, right?
Indeed.
Well, in just a few years, the money we carry around will look a little bit different. Our reporter Jeffrey Dubrov shows us what's changing.
Everyone knows what the $20 bill looks like, but in just a few years, that might not be the case. Harriet Tubman will be replacing former President Andrew Jackson on the bill. Jackson has been on the bill since 1928, but many people have criticized him for the Trail of Tears, an event that led to the death of thousands of Native Americans.
I think it's amazing because Andrew Jackson instigated a genocide in our nation, so he shouldn't be celebrated for that.
Tubman was a women's rights advocate and helped lead slaves to freedom through the Underground Railroad.
I'm super happy to have Harriet Tubman take his place because as a woman, it's nice to see like equality, and the fact that it's a black woman, that makes it even more fantastic. And she did so much during the Civil War to help free slaves.
Alexander Hamilton, the first treasurer of the United States, will remain on the $10 bill, but images of women's rights advocates will be placed on the back. It will be the first time in over 100 years that a woman will be featured on any U.S. paper currency.
It's nice to see both genders being represented on our currency, as opposed to just it's always just been white men.
The bills are expected to begin circulation in 2020. For Annenberg Media, I'm Jeffrey Dubrov.
School is coming to an end, but USC Sports just gearing up for a playoff push, Scott.
Yeah, that's right. I know our women's lacrosse team is doing phenomenal right now.
Oh, yeah.
So let's send it over to our sports anchor, Natalie Calabat, to fill us in with the Trojans. What's going on, Natalie?
Thanks, Scott and Suji. The Trojan ladies are taking over this spring. Women's golf just finished up their season with a bang. And 2 women's teams are currently undefeated. And a senior women's lacrosse player is here in studio tonight. All this and more coming up right up here in sports. Don't move a muscle.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Welcome back to ATVN. This spring semester is filled with lots of action and perfect records. Women's water polo and lacrosse are currently undefeated. I caught up with senior midfielder Amanda Johansson about going into the home stretch.
Having 15 wins is definitely something that's, I mean, I would say I never dreamed of it, but I definitely have. That's what was kind of my goal going into a new program. I wanted to be a part of something new that would, turn out to be something great, and it's definitely what it's been like so far. We've improved so much, and we have great coaches and great staff here, and it's just a great place to be, and to have a good lacrosse team, just makes it even better. Us and Stanford, we've always had great games. Last year they beat us twice, and I think this year we're just, we're going to prepare really hard this week, and hopefully come out super strong. And
the women of Troy will look to finish up a perfect regular season this weekend at home. And now joining me in the studio to share a little bit more about the program is senior defender Carly Horan. Carly, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me. Love being here.
Thank you. So, Carly, you're from the East Coast. Let's take it back to high school. What attracted you to come all the way out west to join a developing program?
Well, I think in general, I just in college, whether or not I was going to play a sport or not, I just wanted to experience a different part of the country. So that was definitely a huge part of it. Another school I was looking at actually was Stanford at one point in my recruiting period. So California was just attractive to me because it was different, it was new, and it was far away.
So Carly, let's take it back to freshman year. What was the program like your first year?
Wow, the first year was pretty interesting because not a lot of people on campus knew what lacrosse was. Lacrosse is a new sport in California, so for us walking around with our stick, we didn't have a locker room at the time either, so we were always carrying around our sticks and our cleats. And it was funny because people would ask to hold my stick, and I excuse me, can I hold that? And I'm like, sure, here you go. And I know I was ordering a salad one day, and the guy who was making it was like, is that a weapon? And I'm like, no. Yeah. So being able to teach the campus what it is, spread the culture of our sport, and watch them grow up with us as we've grown up here in the last 4 years has been really cool.
Absolutely. And Carly, it's the fourth year the program's making history. What has it been like to be a part of this young team and watch it grow and prosper with success?
Really, really incredible. I think the coolest thing has to see my teammates take on different roles as the different years, because we've been pretty much the same group since it started. We came in with 17 freshmen, I think, in my class, and we have about 14 still with us, and even the girls who aren't on the team anymore are still very well connected. So even whether they're with us every single day at practice or not, they still play a role and come to the games and surprise us on away trips, and whether you're on the field, off the field, on a day-to-day basis, that's just been really incredible just to watch all of us grow up together.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what, in your opinion, what is the key factor that has just created so much success for this program?
I think chemistry and experience. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we've been the same group, so we've really gotten to know each other and trust each other on and off the field, as well as our coaches. We're used to, the game plans and the schemes that they put in. So, yeah, experience and chemistry for sure.
All right, Carly. Well, thank you so much for stopping in. Best of luck in the Coliseum this Friday and with the rest of your season.
Yeah, thank you.
You're so welcome. All right. And to the pool, where the #1 ranked women of Troy are 20-0. The squad is coming off of an impressive 8-3 win over the #3 Stanford. But the top-ranked team is ready for their next challenge against the Cal Bears.
Stanford and UCLA are definitely our two biggest opponents. I think Stanford was a big game for us, a big win. And then we just got to go into MTSF and NC2A, just knowing that and being prepared as we have been.
Troy finish up their regular season this Friday at Weetangsu Aquatic Center when they host the Cal Bears at 2 on Friday. Today marked the final round of the 2016 Pac-12 Women's Golf Championships. The women of Troy finished at 18 under to win their 6th conference title. They beat out UCLA by 3 strokes and Arizona State by 5. Junior star Gabby Then had a stellar second round with a career-best 7 under performance. She finished the tournament tied for third at 8 under. Karen Cheng and Tiffany Chan both tied for 10th place after finishing 3 under par. The women of Troy pick up play again starting May 5th for the NC2A Regional Championships. 19th ranked women of Troy tennis. Excuse me for the technical difficulty. The 19th ranked women of Troy tennis couldn't hold on to the Pac-12 title match, falling to number 13 Stanford in a close 4-2 match, breaking their 9th match win streak. The women of Troy will now await their seed for the NC2A Championships held in May. That's it from sports and the couch. Back to you at the desk, Suji and Scott.
Well, thanks, Natalie. I'm really excited. We've got a great season of sports coming up.
Yeah, we do. Now, Suji, are you a lacrosse fan?
You know what? No, but actually, I think I am now. Are you?
I mean, I'm from California, so I didn't know much about it to begin with, but now I do, and now I'm going to the next game. You can believe that.
Good for you, Scott.
Well, an argument at a construction site turned out to be a war between bulldozers. See the shocking video coming up next.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
Hey, look, it's those guys.
What's up? What's happening today?
Let's see those pearly whites, man.
Yeah. The boys, check it out. Stand up, do my cherries, go compare us.
Ooh, cute.
Are you good to try?
I'm fine.
Hey girl, what's up? What's the name? What's good? What's up?
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Sir, go and step out of the vehicle for me.
Yes, sir.
See ya, buddy. Today, Sean's got a hearing. We'll see how it goes. Good luck. So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Rival construction companies got into a brawl on a busy street in China, but instead of using fists, they used bulldozers. Drivers for the competing construction companies fought it out, demolition derby style. At least 2 of the big machines flipped over. Police say it started with a business argument between the 2 business firms. Wow, that's interesting.
That's crazy. I can't believe what I just watched.
I know.
I think I've seen it all now.
I think so. That's very interesting.
Really?
Well, anyway.
Something new every day. Well, anyways, we thank you so much for joining us here at Annenberg TV News. From everyone in this lovely media center of ours, I'm Scott Cook.
And I'm Suji Nam. You can watch us on the web at uscannenbergmedia.com. Have a good night.